Hey guys, welcome to this mega update. Today is April 29th, 2022. I know it's been a long time, so I'm trying to make time for this update. We're going to try to update pretty much everything. So first off here is I just want to include my ranchus and miscellaneous goldfish that I have in this tank. I've gotten quite a few, and some of these were purchased as babies and now they've all grown up. That one is the new one, that little ranchu. And this is Barley. He's very aggressive. Likes to eat everything. It's also has very pretty red eyes or orange eyes. That black moor is a new one as well. I just got it 2 days ago. Yeah, so this used to be a stock tank that I had home some of the koi's and the comet goldfishes, but I've given them away since they were too aggressive for these guys. And in fact, I had that koi, Carlos, he killed 2 of them, so I was like, that's kind of the limit, so I gave it away. And so now all the smaller tanks, fishies, have I put them all in here as one large tank. And this inverted aquarium I've actually built myself. It used to house all the fishes in here temporarily while this tank had to be re-epoxied. So I didn't know what else to do with it, so I just made it as a inverted tank, which is kind of cool. It's kind of hard to sort of maintain it because of the endless amount of algae that keeps growing on it. So I've sort of managed to put things on top, very light things on top, just to block out some of the lights to keep me from having to scrape all the algae like every week. I don't know if it's helping or not, but that's where we are. So as far as the Neos, they've been doing pretty bad. They're victims of neglect, unfortunately. So some of them you might find very alarming that they're just covered in scales. Also, I'm having a little hard time just trying to water everything on a regular schedule, as they should. Right now, these larger Neos really need a drink. But I'm trying to hold it off because tomorrow I'm planning to move everything out, everything that can be moved out aside, so I can just hose them down. And it's a lot easier to water them while they're outside. I've recently got back into Neo business, haven't gotten any new ones per se, but I'm really trying to increase my the time that I spend working on them. So they're doing a little bit better than before. I've lost quite a few because I've just lost interest in it for a little bit. Unfortunately, right now it's a bad time to get it back into because we have a problem with getting new moss. So as you know, the pandemic sort of cut off some of the supply chain or caused a lot of problems with supply chains. And the other thing was that shipping is quite expensive. I think I've asked a vendor, and he said that he quoted me a price of the large bale of 5A moss, and it costs as much as the moss itself, which is quite ridiculous. But I think at some point I'm just going to have to accept it and just buy, because these guys need to be remossed really, really bad. These moss, the moss mound here is, as you can see, it's quite old, very dry, and it's full of algae. That's what we'll need to do. This one is a generic yellow one as far as the tags say. So as you can see, it's putting out quite a bit of roots. Otherwise it looks pretty, the leaves are quite shriveled because it needs some water. But like I said, we'll work on that tomorrow. This one needs more moss as well. This one is Kilbigen, I think. Putting out some flower spike, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, new roots, new spikes. Yeah, here's some of the problems with the scales that I mentioned earlier. So I think part of this is just me not taking care of them, and they're quite stressed. Especially, I've noticed that there's a blooming of scales, soft scales, whenever I forgot to water them or something, or there's a prolonged period of in between watering. And so they're a bit weak, and they're susceptible to all kinds of pests, scale being the most prominent. And so some of them are kind of on the decline, but I really need to get on top of scrubbing these scales out. And I've been holding off from spraying chemicals, pesticide for a while now, like for a long time, but I think it's probably time. This problem is quite extensive on many of them. Here is, I don't remember the tag on this one. Oh, this is Benicoroi, putting out flower spikes, pretty good. This is pretty massive here. This is Dong E, I need some water. You can see the older leaves, they have these, they don't look very nice. But the newer leaves look a little bit better. These guys just hangs out here on the ledge, on the little thing that I built. So, yeah. Oh, and next to it, this is all my fruit trees that are just here in the winter. They look also pretty bad too. So this one in particular, this is quite massive. This is a jackfruit that I started from seed, from a fruit that I bought from a store a long time ago. I think this guy hasn't even been 2 years, and it has quite a sturdy trunk. I think it's about 8 feet. It could have been more, but I chopped it off because the ceiling height in the basement is not very high. But I'll keep it that way. It'd be manageable. It'd be pretty neat if it blooms and produces fruit. I've also had a second one too, that's over here. The leaves are a little bit different than this one. It looks like a fig, which is neat. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I ever showed on camera, but this is how the stock tank is filtered. I built everything here myself, and I have plants in here that uses as like filtration. So the majority in here is taro. I mean, I actually harvested, I think during the winter or something, and it's pretty tasty. So it kind of worked itself out. That is, I forgot what that is, but it's covered in spider mites. It's kind of gross. So as soon as it gets outside, I'm gonna spray it and then keep on top of spraying it. I think that's kind of the bad problem about how I maintain some of my plants. Is just like I spray one time maybe, or take care of it, and then just like forgets about it. Oh, on top of the inverted aquarium, I have a random bunch of orchids in baskets that I usually hang them off like this to water them, and then like a day later I pull them out. Oh, this one's probably dying. Oh, that one over there that's hanging, that is... Okay, so I'm on the other side right now trying to read the tag, but that's a Vanda denisoniana. It bloomed the first time in the middle of winter, which is surprising because I assumed that they only bloom when the weather is really hot. But I guess it was hot enough in this grow room. Yeah, this is on the other side of the filter pond, or whatever you want to call it. I don't really have much going on over here on this side, but this is my old aquarium that I bought. It's cubed. It's about 60 gallons. Oh, look, there's a frog in here. This guy has been hanging in the grow room for like a year now. I don't know what it's feeding on, but it just hangs out. I don't like how it's sitting like with 1 foot in the water like that. I should probably build something. Anyways, I don't know what I'm going to do with this tank. This was an extra one that originally I had my first goldfish in here, but I think what I'll eventually do is just convert this into a planet aquarium, just because, I guess. I don't know what else to do with it. If you have any suggestions, just leave a comment down below. That's a key lime. That's some sort of bamboo, that's edible bamboo, but it's really, I shouldn't really be growing that here. It's too cold for it, and I kind of hate that I have to bring it back in and out. Supposedly get very large, but I doubt it will get very large because it's living in this container. That's my Adenio obesum, pretty dormant. Need to bring it outside as well. That's a Buffon distincta. Should be in a dormant phase now, but it's still green. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh, these are a bunch of lemongrasses that was originally from a bunch of stems that I purchased from the grocery store, and I just decided I was going to grow it because I didn't want to travel all the way if I just happen to need it. It's become very useful. It smells really great. I just need to repot this into the giant pot underneath there. I just haven't really had time. Oh, this is a pandan leaf, or pandan plant that I had a friend took off an offset and gave it to me. I planted it, but as you can see, it's not doing so hot. I've tried so many times to grow this guy, but I haven't had any luck. Over here we have a myriad of Neos on the other side. This side doesn't do too well too. And you can see here, this is Yamahoko, I think that's what it's called. As you can see, it's covered in scales. It's kind of gross. But my plan is just take the scales off and then spray them with chemical insecticides to prevent them from having future breakouts, and just repeat that until it's cleared. Let's give you guys a shot across from the inverted tank. Looks pretty cool. I probably need to feed these guys too because I haven't fed them yet. They are patiently waiting for me to finish this video so I can feed them. They're following me wherever I go. They're really cute, especially that one. That's my favorite one, Pascal. Okay, moving on. Oh, this guy, I haven't shown it in a while, but this was a project plant from Orchidaholics, which I'm not part of anymore, but this is a Dendrobium cross, Normanbiensis by Polysema. Also a subject of my neglect. It's had previously attacked quite a bit by spider mites, but that problem's gone away. And I really need to repot this because that media is quite old. Despite that fact, it has bloomed so well every single winter. This is still going on right now. I don't really care for the bloom that much, but it's been a prolific bloomer and a reliable one at that too. So I'm just gonna keep it. But yeah, on my to-do list to repot that. Moving on here, that nut pot over there, that's my ginger pot. It's kind of dormant right now, but it'll grow back when I bring it outside. This is one of another project plant from long ago. This is a Neo that's been treated with colchicine. It's doing really well. I was actually going to remoss it at some point, but after I uncovered it, I got distracted and then left it in this particular pot, and it's just for a couple months, and then it just bound itself to it, so I didn't have to rip it out. So now it's just, this is home. It's quite a large clump by now. It's growing without any media, or practically no media in there, and it's doing really well. Right next to it is kind of looks like a deciduous tree. This is a star fruit that I started from seed as well from a grocery store. I think I need to trim this down a little bit to give it a more good form. Yeah, that's on my to-do list as well. On the bottom here we have Acoleus amboinicus, or however you say that, otherwise known as a Cuban oregano. And I love this guy because every time I walk by I can just smell it. It's pretty strong. It's also quite invasive too if you give it the right condition, that being heat and water. As an example of that vigor, this is actually a cutting that I didn't start. I think one of the branches here broke off and then just landed on here at some point, and I didn't realize about it, or didn't realize it, and it's taken off now. Like, it's rooted itself and grown. I forgot about that guy. That's a That's Haworthia truncata. I need to repot this or something. It's also covered in scales too. The last bit of fruit tree over here is Kevin. This is lemon that I started from seed back in 2013. I've trimmed it quite a bit, like really hard, and it's grown back during this winter season. I think I need to trim it some more because it got quite leggy branches now. For this one, didn't fruit last year, probably because I cut off quite a bit of it. The fruit on it is pretty bad. Like it's mostly rind. So I didn't grow it for the fruit. I just did it for the novelty. And moving over here on my table, all these neos that I'm working on remossing. This is pretty much all I have left to do for the year, minus all the big ones on the stock tank. I have a very limited amount of 5A moss left, so I'm being very stingent when I use them to wrap it. So we're not looking for good form or anything. I'm just looking to get that on new moss on to the roots and call it a day. This is one I'm working on. This is Kirin Maru, I think. I really need a bad maintenance job on there. Let's work over here. Big giant bird paradise that shouldn't really be down here, but yeah, it's just what I have. This is how I water my orchids. Yeah, I just soak them in a tub for like a day or overnight and fish them out next day. My crown jewel Phalaenopsis schilleriana, this is what's left of it. I don't know what happened last summer. It experienced a leaf that had rotted in the middle, the newest one, and so this is what we have left. I am trying to do whatever I can, I guess, to make sure it pops out a new side growth or something, but this winter all it did was popped out a couple of spikes that eventually aborted, so it doesn't look too good right there. Over here we have all the Cattleyas in the clay pots. They also don't look very good. This one is a relatively new acquisition. This is the only new orchid that I've bought in the past 2 years. This is a BL Yellowbird. It's a replacement of my old one that unfortunately died as well. I've been hesitant to get new orchids just because I kind of want to get everything better taken care of before I get more orchids. But part of my Cattleya collection is looking really bad, including this one. I believe this is Greenbird. It bloomed really well last winter. So the problem with my orchids is that I'm sort of neglecting to water them. I've sort of treated them as my succulent collection, which it's a little more forgiving because I can get watering without causing too much stress on them. So yeah, that's what we'll go next. This is Pachyphytum orvarum, looking really good. Oh, these guys I got recently. This is I finally found some lithops. That's the Optica rubra variety. Just got them, have not watered them yet because I noticed that they are sprouting new leaves. This is Crassula ovata that's variegated. This guy for a long time would not produce any new leaves. This is one or two and then it will fall off. And I realized that for the majority of my cacti and succulents, I haven't fertilized them like for years. So yeah, I started to fertilize it again and it's doing a lot better. I'm seeing more leaves and bigger leaves too, so that was really bad on my part. These were new, the same, they were purchased the same time as the Lithops Optica rubra, the Dinteranthus inspectactus, and some other random succulents that I purchased recently. I like succulents because they're so interesting when the orchids are not blooming. I like the ones that are really peculiarly shaped. Like this one, this is Russia perfoliata. Yeah, really, really strange. This one also recently purchased Sarcocaulon monsonia. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that those names. Had a little crown rod on the top here, or a dieback. I don't know what that's about. I see that there are new growths on the side, so it's kind of helpful. Echinopsis, dono cactus. Got a little bit of, what are these called? Oxalis growing in the pot here. I think it's about to bloom soon. This is the original one that I bought, and it's putting out offsets since then. So 2 now. Recent purchase, well, Caridopsis speciosa. Pretty cool mesom succulents because it reminds me of bunny ears. Planted in this cup and saucer that I've converted. These are old chipped cups that I've decided I was going to drill a hole on the bottom there, you can see, and repurpose them as pots. I thought they were kind of cute. Bear paw succulent. I originally had it in this bare pot, has actually fortunately died, so I repurchased it, but in a variegated form. So Cotyledon tomatosa. Okay, so let me move over to this side over here. So this is a recent area that I've started. This is used to be where my computer is, but has since moved to my room. This is my Fluence. I forgot what the model was, but Viper 2P or something like that. Anyways, I just want to give a short comment. So I've had Fluence Bioengineering light fixtures since I started buying lights. They were great initially, but I gotta say, they're quite a pain in the butt because every single year, one of them or 2 of them has their power source gone out. I don't think I can recommend them anymore. They're not very reliable. I like the ones that I purchased from Mars Hydro better, so I'm slowly converting them over to these. So yeah, just a comment on their reliability. But anyways, I'll use this in the meantime. You know, this coming summer, all these will be moved out, so we won't have to worry about this guy's reliability. But I've stopped buying any light fixture from that company anymore. Just focusing on the plants now. I don't know if I've ever featured this before, but I built a new, let's call this a cage, vanda cage. But the one that this no ID vanda was living in had rotted, and so I built a new one, a bigger home for it. And it has a new offset down there. Since I moved it, some of the older roots on the very bottom have died out, but you can see there's new roots coming through. It bloomed this winter. It's pretty reliable bloomer now, with these major, huge vanda flowers that are kind of pink. Over here has just started some seeds for the plants outside. Some eggplant, I think. This is a hydrangea that I actually knocked off a new shoot from the ones outside, and I accidentally knocked it over, so I just stuck it in here just to see if it will take. It's a random pea and a couple of artichoke. Cypress vine. Yeah, some stuff for the outside. I have some random Phalaenopsis that's still with me. This is a separate from the main collection that I'll show you guys in a little bit. Some random clumps of Phalaenopsis alliance. This guy's looking really bad. I don't think it's infected with something. I just pulled it off pretty easily, so I don't know what's going on. I think it will do better once it's outside. I have 2 Schomburgia undulata. This is the regular one, and this is the Alba variety that I purchased not so long ago. It bloomed the first time this year, and it was pretty amazing. I'll say this guy, I don't know what's going on, but it keeps putting out spikes every year, and the spikes are very long. But when the time comes to have its bloom open, it just aborts everything. So I'm not sure if I'm not giving enough light or something, or maybe not enough fertilizer, which is kind of a common theme my plants in the past few years. Got over here a Calanchoe humilis that's just sprawling out. Some more random Phalaenopsis. That's an offset of Hieroglyphica. That's doing okay. Random aloe, no ID from seed. This one is Bellina. As you can see there, I thought it had ground rot, but it's putting out a new leaf, so we're good. So moving up, Sansevieria Stechii, Anacamceros telephiastrum. This is one of the original succulents. It's very old. It's gone through quite a bit of diebacks and offshoots and all that jazz, but I'm glad to still have it. This one, a recently new one, is Albica concordiana. A very this guy has been on my wish list for a long time, and I've never seen it offered ever, so I'm glad to see it, and for a very, very good price. Nothing here yet because it's I think the seller just cut off the leaves for it to go dormant or something. But yeah, looking forward to see all those curly leaves when it blooms, or not bloom, but when it grows. Echeveria Orange Glow, doing alright. This one is a new one too, and also been on the wish list for a very long time. It's pretty small. I put the name on the name of it, I forget, and I need to put a plant tag on it too. But yeah, very, very cute. Not too spiky. And over here we have a variegated Astrophytum, I think. Anyways, there, I got this in a cluster and I thought it would look really cute there. This round ball is the cactus that also on the wish list I just happened to see, so I got that as well. This giant enormous guy, this is a Xenocerus pruinosis, growing pretty tall, kind of cracked in the middle there where it has a weak point. I think I'm going to chop it off and just regrow it on the top part. And the very top here is very, very bright. It's Melocactus. Down here we got a Euphorbia anapila. Yeah, I'm sorry about these names, guys. This is I forgot what the name of this one is, but this is a very old plant that I'm trying to recover as well. It's Aeonium atroparium, grown on a repurposed teacups I don't use anymore. Echinocactus grissonii, barrel cactus. It's the last one on this area. Okay, moving to the opposite side, sort of opposite, is some more cactus and succulents. This is where my old aquarium used to be, that cube that we saw earlier. Just like the other side, I built these stands into the stud framing. I don't know if that's appropriate or not for the structure, but yeah, that's how we were rolling. It's a compact way for me to put more plants into space without like using up too much surface area. So we'll take some. Oh, oops, lights got turned off. Alright, sorry about that. We have my Corpuscularia Lehmannii, just pretty much growing. This is a Pachypodium brevicale. It has a peperomia going in there, but I don't know if this is surviving or not. But, well, we'll just leave it be. I have this in this pot that looks like a tooth to me. This one, Echeveria porposum, was recently in bloom. The blooms are dead. I need to cut that off. Echeveria monoceratus, that's variegated. It looks kind of like it's lost its variegation, unfortunately, which is kind of sad. I have miscellaneous air plants right here on these. Adromiscus hemithericus, Rhaptovaria bashful. It needs a little bit more color. I think the area right here doesn't have as much light as it would to produce those colors. This light is the spider farm light. It's not as powerful as this guy, but I will say that the spider farm light fixture is a lot more reliable. Growing down here in the further area, I don't know what this is. Oh, actually, it's a Sedum trellisii. It's growing pretty tall. Doesn't have too many leaves growing on the stem there. Part of it is not fertilizing any of my plants, and so when it grows up, it loses quite a bit of leaves to recover some nutrients, I guess. But as you can see, this usually actually looked a lot better before, because before it would just have this much of leaves on the growth. Also, it needs a little bit more light too. As you can see, it's stretching a little bit. No ID peperomia. I don't really care too much about it now. I don't know why. This is Bulbophyllum echinolabium, the only Bulbophyllum that I have. Hasn't done too bad, but not too well either. As you see here, the new growths. That's 2 leading growths, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm trying to work on it more to get bigger bulbs and hopefully bloom soon. This is a silverleaf pothos. I've trimmed it back quite a bit and stuck some of the trimmings into the pot. Hopefully you get a fuller look. But I'll show you guys what's been happening. So I got this one particular vine that's been growing pretty long, and I didn't realize it, but it attached itself to the stud, and this is what it's been doing so far, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know if this is going to be a long-term thing, because I feel like it's not, but it is growing up towards the light. It hasn't crossed over to this side yet, but as you can see, it kind of looks like it's on its way. Right here, tall guy is the Euphorbia trigona. It is as tall as I am, and I'm about 5'7", 5'8", depending on the shoes. Which is kind of amazing, because I had it, I got it as a cutting, as a free gift, so I didn't even purchase it. It has to have these bamboo supports because it's very top heavy on the top here. So eventually, I think I need to get better support, because you can see here, one of them is kind of leaning on the side already. Oh, moving over, nothing really major to report on some of these guys. Very lovely rose. It's lost its rose form because it's growing really long now. Variegated Corpuscularius leimanii. Having a lot of oxalis growing everywhere. Yeah, this Graptopetalum tituban, growing pretty tall as well. It's getting a little stretchy. Graptopetalum rainbow number 5. I think it's lost its variegation. Except for that one over there, but that's totally yellow, so I don't know if it's going to be viable by itself. I really need to clean out the oxalis. I don't know what this is. I think it was a free gift as well, but it's grown pretty nice, and I like how all the rosettes are growing on very long stems. It kind of like bonsai-ish. We have another pot here that's one of my old IKEA coffee pots that I've converted to a grow pot, which I haven't figured out what I want to grow in there yet. So it's a new home for something. Oh, ooh, this guy's good. This is a Graptopetalum superbum that's variegated. You can see here, this one is totally albino. This is not good to remove since I'm pretty sure it will die, but the mother plant is looking really nice. I kind of want to propagate this because this offset right here, it's also variegated. Potentially, eventually, I can, but probably not yet. Sonocerius pruinosis. It's looking kind of yellow because I had to repot it recently, and I'm pretty sure all the roots are dead. Echeveria gowen with companion oxalis. Up here we have Dioscorea elephantites that's gone dormant on me, so I gotta take this out. I have another one over here that they're both started from seed, but it's still hanging on to some of the leaves I can show you. I can't see the tuber yet, it's probably still buried underneath, so eventually hopefully we'll see a bigger corm or tuber, whatever you want to call it. These are fun. Sedum rubos tinctum or something. I don't know what the variety is called, but some of them are variegated, like that one on some of the leaves. So they're very, very cool. I think I might cut some of these off, these leggy parts, and propagate them. I think they'll look a bit better without these bare stems. Up here, nothing much to say. Mammillaria plumosa, Tycoleton, something something, and Cactus crispatus. Up there we have no idea what it is, but it's a cactus that blooms big yellow flowers. Okay, so we're going to move into the last grow space or area, and this is where all of my Phalaenopsis live now. So I've converted all the ones that are still alive into the terracotta pots, and I've hung them up from the ceiling. I think they look really nice that way. But kind of like the same story as the other ones, they're not doing so well. So they're kind of in a recovery business right now. Oh, this is probably gonna die soon. This is a Phalaenopsis mini mark. I wish they were more readily available in the States. It's really a nice cross, but yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna lose it. This one down here, what is this? Phalaenopsis pokerima variety Aquinii time Asco centromiatum. Haven't done much, but it has gone a little bit taller. On the bottom here I have a couple of the Cattleya lines that are probably also going to die. These are the worst lot from the previous one that I showed earlier. But I mean, there are some good things over here. This one is Phalaenopsis cornucervi variety flava. Sorry about that. All the lights are on timers, so I forgot how late it is. But yeah, it's putting out new leaves. It looks pretty nice right now. Let's see what else. Let's see. Phalaenopsis dragon tree eagle. This guy used to be huge, but as you can see, it's been reduced quite a bit. And this is actually a keiki. The main plant has died, but I'm pretty confident I can bring it back to what it used to be. This sad looking thing is, I don't know what's going on with it, but it's like a grocery store Phalaenopsis that we think it's Lucky Star or something. It has mini yellow flowers that are really pretty. I think the main growth dye, these are the keikis that we're working with. It has a little bit of scale, hard scale that I can see in it, so we'll clean it up later. Phalaenopsis Chang Krishna. It was a clump of it, and you can see I might lose this one as well. Phalaenopsis variety, Gigantea variety alba, super expensive one that I'm trying my hardest to not die on me. Had this new leaf recently, and I can see a new one coming through, so that's good. So in the past I said I'm not really good with mounted orchid, but for whatever reason, this one has done really well for me. It has been bloomed consecutively every, I think, the last 2 years. This is a Lacardia Sarah. Every now and then when I remember, I water it. There is some dievacks, but there's equally amount or even more new growths at the base there. Not a lot in bloom right now. This is, what is this? This is Sweet Memory, the bubbles or babbles. Very vigorous plant for me. You see there's a bit of mealy bugs on the blooms here. Pretty good plant. Still has quite a bit of mealy bugs that I need to get rid of, which again I will resort to doing chemical sprays. I'm moving to this side. Yeah, not too much to really say about them. They're all in recovery mode right now. Yeah, I've been really hard on the watering, trying to remember to make sure that they get water on a regular schedule and also fertilize them. So far it's, you know, I think it's been good. Oh, this is a Chibe. Okay, very tiny blooms. Tiny, and when I get closer you can sort of see all the scale that's on the inflorescence there, but really neat. The plant itself not looking great. Phalaenopsis pulchra. These are all like random keikis that grew out from all kinds of places from the original plant. Never, I think it only bloomed once for me. They put out quite a bit of keikis, so I stuck them all together in one pot. Okay, so the Phalaenopsis used to live here on these IKEA shelves that they should put back into production because they're pretty awesome. So now what I'm doing is I'm leaving all of my smaller Phalaenopsis here because I think they look nicer. They look a lot nicer than on these Japanese racks, which I still use them. They're the ones here that you see. I use them to transport them back and forth from here to where I water them. It's very nice for that purpose, but I also use them in the summer when I hang these on them outside. Oh, this one looks pretty good. That stem. This is putting out a new keiki too, or growth. This one is, the name is right there, which I cannot pronounce. But yeah, it's a Nakafu variegation. Putting out new roots, but some of them have stopped. This one is still going. Yeah. Ooh, this one's nice. This is Mon 10, I think is how you say that. Putting out quite a bit of growths and roots at the same time. So they're all doing better now than they were before. Now that I've started to fertilize them and sort of water them on a regular schedule, whenever I can, of course. So they still have the problem with the soft scales, which I'll take care of them soon. There are some things going on in the collection where suddenly things just kind of die. I don't know what that's about, maybe a fungal issue, but an example of it would be this one. So the main growth is here. In the span of like a week, all the leaves just drop off, and then that's what you see here. I have this one growth left. I'm hoping maybe I'll divide it out. Hopefully that it will be okay on its own, since I do see there are roots that it has on its own. Let's see. Oh, this is a good success story. This is, the variety is Manju. It's one of those 3-spur variety, I believe. When I got it, it's about the size of this keiki, but now it's just grown pretty good. Oh, one of my favorite, this is Bullywon. I've divided it recently and gave it to a friend. I've made these tags that are hopefully will be better looking, but these are copper. I printed the laser labels on here, but it looks like the ink is wearing off, so that's not good. So I have to redo these. I have a lot of duplicates now since I've divided some of them, like this ogong. This came from a larger plant that it's in the water tub right now, but I think I have 2 of these extra ones. When I see them that they have more root development, I might sell them off at some point. This is another, actually this is the main plant, but I have another duplicate somewhere. I don't know where it is. Oh, down here. I should put all of my duplicates together. This is Musumaru Shima. Almost 3 leaves on there, but yeah, I divided that. This one is the other duplicate of Gorong that I have. It looks really nice. Rokyo Kohu, one of my original plants that I have. When I got it was like 1.2 growths, and now it's just kind of a mass of things. It's kind of unfortunate during the last summer, something had bitten off the leaves. It might be a squirrel or something. And there was quite a bit of trauma that happened on this main growth. But as you can see, it's kind of been overtaken by other growths that's kind of sort of hiding some of those damages, so it looks okay. But I got a growth here that's growing like upside down. That's not good. Okay, that's pretty much it for the Neos. We're still, the other half is remossed, or being remossed, or being watered, so I'll stick them up when they're done. But if I move over to this side, this is the last section. This is my cacti and succulents. So more stuff over here. The big one over here, this is Pachypharia Jocelyn Joy. It's quite big and it's quite sturdy. Next to it we have a Graptopedilum bellum, waiting for it to bloom. The whole reason why I've got this is because the blooms are really pretty. Down here we got Apilia, Peperomia. It bloomed recently with the inflorescent that it had, which I didn't think it was ever going to do that, but that was really neat. The blooms didn't look anything spectacular. For a while it was losing quite a bit of leaves and I didn't know what was going on, but same story, didn't really fertilize it, so I think it was recycling some of its nutrients. Down here, oh, that's an Albica spiralis doing its thing. My Euphorbia Tyrucali is doing amazing. The original succulent that I purchased used to be just like a twig, but now it's got a good trunk and it's going taller and taller. Up above it is a Sedum Duffii. Yep, just looking pretty. The color's not spectacular, but I think it needs to go outside for that. There is Sedum Burrow's Tail or something. This is actually a cutting from one of these. Is the original, I forgot which one, but they're from the same plant. So I guess once you give them the space, they can grow quite a bit. I've lost quite a bit of leaves right here due to a number of things. Probably forgot to water it, or like not enough light. They're getting better. They're getting tighter too, as you can see it down here. So that means they have sufficient light. Oh, on the very top here is my one of my dragon fruits. I think this is the yellow variety, so the stem is not quite as large. But yeah, it's quite a jungle up there. This is the third time that I've tried to grow. This is Crassula misombrianthomodes. This is Crassula ovata. No, Pachyphytum ovata or something. Ovivarum. CV mobibeacon. Let me back up a little bit to let you see the last few larger plants. So that guy right there with the trellis is my original dragon fruit. So it's gone quite jungly, but hasn't produced fruit yet. Over here we have a Euphorbia lactea. It's currently grown right now, so very kind of top heavy. And right next to it, I have no idea what that is. It's also a free plant from the original posting was for that plant, but I got this one in the Trigona for free. This was repotted recently, and it was a headache to repot it because it was so prickly. And also I had to be careful of the every time it get damaged, it produced that sap, that white sap that's kind of like a skin irritant. So I was really nervous the whole time. But I finally managed to repot it. I hope I don't have to do that the next few years. But as you can see, it's also growing right now as well. Last bit is a Sedum hernandezii. Isn't that cool? Like all these little green jelly beans. Okay, so moving here, which is not lit right now, but let me turn on the light. This is where I used to keep some of my baby goldfish, but now they're all moved to the stock tank, so I don't really know what to do here. I think my plan is just to have a place to grow aquatic plants. I don't know. But yeah, they're pretty empty right now. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So these are what's left of my Sideria collection. This used to be the little one. Segu something, I don't know. Yeah. So I'm trying to do the whole mounting thing again. I think the way to keep this is just constantly water it, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, it's one of the variegated one that's in bloom right now. That's neat. So hopefully by putting it here, it kind of reminds me to water them, because I pass this area every time I go into the grow room. So there's the last one over here. That is Nakafu, I think. So not as big as the other ones. But yeah, I didn't realize it's gonna open today. Looks really nice. Oh, and everything that you see, all the leaves here, that's my monstera. That's kind of grown pretty wild. It's sending all kinds of roots everywhere. Like, you see there. It's pretty massive. Alright, so last bit is all of my random orchids. Mainly the Catasetum type. So that is the black one. Forgot what that one is, but that one is Kelly Longley Lay. Anyways, it's growing again. All of them are growing, so that looks pretty good. These are all also growing as well. Last bit here is Dendrobium trantuanii. It's not really doing anything right now, but yeah. I think that's a wrap for this update. I hope I can edit this down to a more consumable length. I realized there was quite a bit of plants and content covered, but we'll see when I will have time to do a next update. I took time off this week to be able to do this, so we'll see. Alright, as always, thank you for watching. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated. Bye.